Welcome back to another awesome episode of
Real Grown Talk.
So I'm here with Ashley Santiago. My name is Ariel Limas. People call me Ari. If you're interested in our Instagram stuff, we got it right back here with the beautiful Real Grown Talk symbol. A little bit about us again. You know, we're getting back into it. I know we just had a little hiatus, but our last episode was really good.
Yeah.
I think just kind of seeing where we're at in the market, what people are doing to differentiate themselves.
Yeah.
Stay
what's
current.
new with us? What's new with the market?
Yeah.
Kind of. We touched on a lot of that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that I know when I'm in this kind of market, the down market, is, you know, how can we really differentiate ourselves from somebody? Because when you get through this hard time in the market and it becomes busy, you're relevant. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Right.
And that
Stay
helps.
relevant,
Exactly.
stay top of mind, and always be learning, right?
Yes.
Always be changing with the market. The market's constantly changing, so we have to constantly be changing.
Yeah.
So
You know,
let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me and you, because we do a lot of the stuff together, is like staying very current and in front of people in
Yes.
social media. Like
Yes.
posting every little thing we do. You know, like we did an open house this weekend. We posted
Gotta
that,
share it.
you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Let people know what we're doing. We're active. We're busy. We're out there.
I don't really like to look at it this way, but I know a lot of people say social media is like a whole other job. I feel it to be daunting when I view it that way. I like to view it as an extension of my job.
Yeah. That's a
But
good way to
it
put
does take a lot of creativity, thought, effort,
Mhm.
a lot of things. So I'm devastated when I get 0 likes. No, I'm just kidding.
I like it. So you got one like, and then your mom, your team, and then like my
yeah, I've
team,
never had
like-
0 likes. I'm just kidding.
I
But
hope
no,
not.
you do put a lot of your own self into like those posts because they're your original ideas a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a lot, and it's a whole part of the business that I didn't really think of when I was becoming a realtor. Like before I was a realtor, I was kind of trying to trickle off of social media. I was like, I don't need this.
Right.
And then I became a realtor, and I was like, wow, I think I
You
really
need
need
it.
it.
You
I think I
actually
really
need
need it. Yeah. So it's someplace that I've had to really grow
Yeah.
because I never used to really share much
Same.
before. But it's fun because it's a creative outlet, actually.
Yeah.
I do like to be a creative person when I can. So it's kind of an area where I get to sit down and it's literally anything you want on social media. So
Yeah.
you really do get to kind of scratch that creative itch.
There's also like, let me ask you this too. So I know people that are like, you should have a business one, you should have a personal one, and then I know people that are like, you should have it all combined together because you want people to know the person you are as well. Because
Yeah.
in real estate, in this market, you know, we're also selling ourselves. We're the product.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so
I think it's personal preference, man. Like
yeah,
some people just don't want to manage more than one social media account
true.
per platform, you know?
yeah,
And I understand that. I have two. I have a personal and I have a business.
hmm
But it's mostly because I have family and kids, and like my personal one, I tend to share more things about my kids
right,
so my grandma can see and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's not so much for my clients, even though I want them to see me more personal as a more of a person than just a realtor.
yeah,
I don't feel comfortable sharing my kids with everybody, you know?
yeah.
Well,
No, I
you
can
know.
definitely see that. No, that's why I asked you because like I don't have any kids right now.
Yeah.
and then me being maybe more active in the community, like throwing myself on social media and kind of combining my two social medias because I have two as well.
Yeah.
And my personal one is like, all the goofy stuff and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
and there's a lot of goofy stuff
Yeah,
on my personal
exactly.
one too.
And
And,
then,
my
like-
friends are goofballs, and they tag me in some things I wouldn't want all
Same.
my professional people to see. I'm always removing tags, like, oh my god,
No,
this
I
is not
get it.
who I am.
It's true because that happened to me with Facebook when I first started real estate. Like
Yeah.
you had to have a separate page
Oh yeah.
because they just started that like having your business page.
Yeah, the pages thing. Like, we're talking the difference between profiles and pages.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, because some of the real estate apps and platforms that we use will share to your Facebook, but some of them are page centric, I'll say. Like, they'll only share to a page, not to a profile kind of thing. So there's a kind of a need for that in that area.
Right.
Also, pages work a little bit differently, the way you can use the data that you garnish from your page and your
like
followers.
Views and like see who clicked
Not
on
just
stuff.
that, actually. So one way that we can kind of build our audience, I've learned this through real estate. I'm not like a social media guru or anything, but I'm constantly trying to learn. So one thing that I've learned is that when you have one of those pages and you have so many followers on it, you can use those followers of that page to actually build an audience that you want to target your content towards. So you can specifically target people like your audience that follows your page. So that's one way to use a page, actually.
Yeah. I also heard they're trying to like tighten up on certain things like that when you are like, if you're a lender or a real estate agent and you're trying to put on like, say, an ad.
Right.
Like the second you click on real estate agent or lender, like the market disappears because it violates some of the laws that are in place.
Right.
So I'm like thinking, is Facebook even that good anymore? And because they don't do it.
That's a very controversial statement.
I know. I mean, it's Facebook for like mothers and grandmothers now, or like, is it?
Yeah.
And Instagram's a new like in your face. Everybody's on Instagram.
I think it's just different types of content.
Yeah.
Different types of content for different people.
Right.
You know.
And then even if you go into the like total professional aspect of it, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right. Like I have a LinkedIn. You have a LinkedIn.
I actually don't.
What?
I know, right? I don't. I hear this multiple times a week, and I know that I should, but I'm still growing in the social media category. You know, like I was the person who was trying to get off of social media, so I'm constantly just trying to add to, and that is definitely one of the things that is like on my list of things to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have some kind of weird anxiety about it. I don't want to do it wrong. I hate to do things wrong, and I know that that's something that holds me back in some areas because
you just look at other people's. That's the easiest way I would say to kind of do it. But what I wanted to say about LinkedIn is, when I first had my LinkedIn, it was all strictly professional stuff. You know, like you post about your open houses or things like that, and then they saw the model of like Facebook business pages, I think, and then they started turning it to more of like a social media where you can make the post like, you know, a video about yourself and what you're doing in the community and stuff like that, which is kind of like it just shows how everything's kind of meshing together is what I'm trying to say,
really
and
similar.
Which ones do we go after, you know, like
I think you need all. So from what I've learned is people use Facebook and Instagram, like, of course there's exceptions to every rule, but the majority use Facebook and Instagram in the morning and at night. But many people actually have their LinkedIns up while they're at work. Like most people can't really have their Facebooks up while they're at work.
Right.
It's not looked upon as like a good thing, right? Because you're socializing during work hours. For us, it's a little different because it's a part of our work.
Yeah, we're social kind of.
Yeah.
We have to
yeah, like everything is networking and being social all the time, being front of mind. So for us, it's a little different. We're encouraged to use our Facebook or our Instagram as much as possible. But when we think about how other people use it, typically people are at work during their day jobs and they are using Facebook and Instagram in the morning and in the evening when they have time to. And their LinkedIns are up all day while they're at work. So it's actually a huge market. If you're posting things in the daytime, LinkedIn is said to be like a really solid tool to use to get the message out there while people are typically at work.
So you need to get a LinkedIn.
I know.
You just convinced yourself.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. It's funny that you brought that up because I know 1,000% I need to get a LinkedIn.
And then what's the other thing that the Instagram has now? The Threads.
Threads, man.
That's another layer.
I know.
Of it. It's like
I don't even know what Threads are.
To be honest,
I'm still learning.
I'm still learning on that too because it's like that's another thing you have to manage too. You know? I mean, I know a lot of the stuff is connected. Like if I post on Instagram, it's going to go to my personal one and it's going to go to my Facebook.
You know, and I'm glad you brought this up because I was actually going to ask you, so I may as well just ask you on camera now. I was going to ask you, should we make a Twitter account for our Real Grown
Sure.
Talk? Because I feel like we're missing a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
The people we really want to talk to, you know, people our age and younger that we're really, not that we're
Wait,
not
is
trying
it
to.
still called Twitter?
It's X.
X.
We should get an
right,
X.
Ryan? It's
Yeah,
X,
we have a
okay,
young
right.
guy in the room.
Yeah.
What are Threads?
Ryan's old.
Similar to Twitter?
It's just basically a different name, right? That's it. Once
okay.
Elon Musk took it over.
Oh, cool. I had no clue.
But no, I mean, I think that's a good idea. I mean, again, this is why we have these discussions, and we want to put ourselves out there as much as we can on every platform, because that's the way we're going to grow our business in this downtime.
Yeah.
You know, and then what can people be doing? You know, as a consumer, you know, I would say, if it's questions you have, educate yourself.
Yeah. That's the coolest thing about the social media platforms is there's just so much. There's a lot of jokes and fun stuff on there, but there is so much information on there.
There's a lot of. I go down rabbit holes sometimes,
whole rabbit holes.
and then all the.
I just learned
5,000 memes.
Carbon fiber in and out. I know everything about carbon fiber.
And then TikTok too, though.
Yeah.
TikTok's
So
another huge platform that I see people just literally. They do TikTok lives and they're sitting there talking about. There's this one guy, I can't remember his name, but he literally sits there with a whiteboard and talks about mortgages.
oh, dude, and I bet he
For,
probably
like,
gets
hours.
viewers.
He does, because it's people that are just scrolling, and then
they
the way
wanna
their
know.
algorithm is, it's like, okay, when the longer you stay on it, they see that you like it and they show you more content like that. Similar to Instagram, but I think it's like, because it's so much faster,
Yeah.
you're scrolling through all these things. So like, I've been kind of watching this guy and I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah, yeah. And like the thing is, so like a lot of people I would say actually aren't on TikTok because it is a younger crowd and you can't technically sell like someone under 18 a house, right? And
Right.
even if they are 18, it'd be really hard,
Yeah.
right? Because they're
Well,
new.
I mean, they're TikTok stars. I'd like to
Not
get
the
them.
TikTok stars, but the kids watching.
Right,
You know,
right.
it's difficult at 18 unless you have a good co-signer, just because you're so new. You know,
Yeah.
you're either gonna need a lot of money down or a co-signer, basically.
But
I think it's a good audience to reach because, all right, we might not be able to sell them a house right now, but I'm not trying to sell every person that watches me on the internet a house.
Right.
You probably don't even live in my market, right? But I
Exactly.
want you to buy a house eventually. And I think it's a good way to get the information out to the kids because who's really teaching them?
that's another thing I was
You
going to bring
know?
up. It's just the fact that we're in such an instant information age with anything you can think of. Like, you want to know the recipe of how Chick-fil-A makes their Chick-fil-A sauce? Like, you can go find an imitation one like in 2 seconds.
I make Chick-fil-A nuggets at home.
Oh, that's what I mean. You know? Like, we're such an instant information. Like me, I do use TikTok a lot, and that's what kind of drew me to be like, maybe I should start doing that. Like, just like sitting here and put my cell phone up here, and then like put something on there, and just be like, oh, even if I do it for like 2 hours, I'm probably gonna get some views and get some traction. And like I said, it's just so instantaneous to people doing these videos.
Can people like ask questions on there too?
Yeah, they'll literally like type questions like,
I don't have a
hey,
TikTok.
what
either.
is you know, what's an FHA mortgage? You know, what's the difference between a VA and a conventional?
It's kind of like having a class
Yeah, it's
virtually.
Cool. It's cool because I think, you know, when you do Facebook Live, people are like, oh, this person's on Facebook Live, like. But TikTok
True.
they have like a specific section where you can look for people having lives.
Yeah, for some reason, and I don't know why, lives on Facebook are a hard sell.
They really are.
It's so
It's
hard
like,
to
oh,
get.
so and so is
people-
going live.
And I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of lives. Sometimes I might go out of my way if my friends are into any kind of business and it's my friend to
Yeah.
watch it because I want to support them and I know how hard it is to get viewers and
Absolutely.
I want to hear what they're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
But I know that that's not the majority. It's
No, I know.
hard to get people to watch your live. I don't know what that is about.
But like you said people that are on Instagram and Facebook are in the morning or at night.
True.
Like, when are people doing lives? Usually
the
during the
day.
day, right? So that's why I think like TikTok is TikTok. Jeez, I'm old. TikTok is a good platform to start that, and like you said, the information isn't there for young people,
Yeah.
and that's like, I mean, I was reading about millennials and how they're gonna have one of the greatest buying powers, and like they're just so also diverse ethnically, and they're making more money than the past generations, and it was just like, wow, okay, like people are like, oh, millennials are never gonna buy it. They want to buy it. There's surveys that they've done, like 83% of people want to buy a home.
Yeah, but I want to talk to the kids even younger than the millennials.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I'm like,
Kids
you
in
all
high
need to
school.
buy a house. Yes, kids in high school.
High school, like
Yes.
that, just to have that knowledge and that opportunity.
How many kids, you know, graduate high school, they have plans with their friends to go to college, and they all rent a room in a house that they're renting, or rooms in dorms nearby. Like, if just even one of them figured out to buy a house and have all their friends rent from them, like, that's a major thing. And I know that, like I'm from Philly, right? Go Phillies.
Go Phillies.
Hopefully we win the World Series by the time this airs. So a big thing out there is like the kids that come out there to like University of Penn and stuff like that. There's a lot of them that their parents have been doing that a long time. Instead of paying for dorms, they'll just buy a condo close by, and they live in it.
Plan.
Yep, they live in it while they're going to college instead of paying all those fees for dorms. And then now they have an investment property when their kid is done going to college.
And you probably can get roommates way easier.
Yeah.
If you're like,
oh, dude, I
college.
own this place.
Yeah.
Come, you guys can come live with me if you want. And it's your own house. Like,
I mean, I don't know if my parents would want me to do that when I was younger.
no, but you don't have to get them a whole
Trash
house,
that
right? You're gonna, let's say you're getting ready to send your kids to college, and they're not gonna live here. They're gonna go away.
Yep.
You're gonna have to pay for them to live somewhere more than likely, because you want them to focus on school. They might have a job and help out a little
They're
bit.
gonna get a full ride. It's gonna be some sort either academic.
Well, my
or-
kids have GI Bill, so you
you're
know,
good.
I'm good. But yeah,
D1 scholarship.
it's like I hope so, Ari. I hope you have
Me
a
too.
team of athletes.
Gotta get it going.
But yeah, like, it's not a bad idea, even if you just get them a studio. It's still a good investment,
Oh yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And then
I
of course,
agree
less
with that.
likely they're gonna trash the place.
Yeah, or they do, and then they have more repercussion.
Yeah,
So you gotta
yeah.
deal with your parents.
You know, hopefully your kids are responsible by the time you're sending them to college. You know.
But think about, college is always wild.
I never went. I wouldn't know.
I didn't stay at college, but I did party a lot at colleges.
Yeah,
'Cause I
I've been
didn't-
to a
I didn't
few
get to
college
live
parties.
on campus, but I lived off campus.
But yeah, I
That's
mean,
a good idea, though. I never thought of that.
yeah, I mean, what a great way to use your money. I mean, dorms are expensive, first of
Yeah.
all. Like, I know people pay a lot of money to send their kids to college, first of all, and then to
Yeah.
live there
Yeah,
Is
it's a lot.
is not a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something that, like, you know, people who have been into real estate, they've been using that model for a while now. And it's like something that we should be sharing with the regular living population.
In
because-
whichever platform.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, sure, there's going to be newer things.
there's always something.
There's always something in the works. And
Yeah, I can't.
the
even
metaverse
imagine.
didn't work, but
It's not over yet.
it's not over yet. But I think it was a little too early.
Well, it's like anything else, right? It has to start somewhere, and people have to use it for it to grow.
Right.
You know. So, I don't know. Do you have a VR headset? Have you used one?
I've used one before, but I
Yeah.
never. But like that's cool because I think I forgot one movie I watched, but it was like where the guy just puts on the headset and instead of going to the mall, like you can walk around and like, oh, I want to see what those sneakers are, and like you're walking around at the mall, like the metaverse mall,
Oh, but you're like virtual.
but you're virtual,
You're
so
sitting in
like
your
you
living
still
room,
have the
essentially.
experience of like going to the mall and like going into the store and like looking at all the stuff on the wall. And
Yeah.
so like that's, I mean, it was in a movie. But
I don't
was
love
like,
that idea. I like going out and being social.
Right, but that's gonna change.
Yeah, it could. I think another cool way is like the glasses.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, like you
I saw
could
those.
still go to the mall and kind of have that digital experience, right? Like, what if, you know, you're shopping and you could just, I'm not an inventor or anything. Feel free to make this because I'd love to use it. And you like pick out the shirt you like and you just look at it with your glasses and it's like, oh, this is the cheapest place to buy it. Now you can price match it at the store that you're at. You don't have to keep looking for it anywhere else.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't think consumers would want that.
Why? What consumer wouldn't want to buy it for the cheapest price? right there and
I mean,
have the product.
Well, maybe not the consumer. Maybe I'm talking about like the stores.
Well, stores are trying to retain clientele every day. I mean,
Right.
we're pretty much in, even though they might not call it
But
this.
you'd have to have everybody. Well, I guess it's available.
It's
on
totally,
the internet.
it's totally
already,
possible, dude.
yeah.
AI, man.
AI is another thing you can use.
Yeah.
Like in writing, we asked AI what are some good hot topics right now,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
we
it
did.
shot out a bunch of them.
It was a lot.
And actually, we didn't really use much of it, but it's just more.
Yeah,
on
we
that
ended up
actual
talking about social
aspect.
media, nothing that it suggested, but it was good. It's I like to use AI for exactly that, to kind of spark some creativity,
Yeah.
some ideas. I love AI as far as ChatGPT goes, or
Yep.
even like some of those image generators. Like, they're so useful.
Mhm.
You know, you don't have to hire someone to do every single little thing.
That's important in our business too. You know, like I'm very lucky to have the media guys, and they crush
Yeah,
it.
they're the best.
You know,
Seriously.
but like when I was doing real estate, like I had to do my own stuff, like my own. Yes, you have templates and stuff, but you want to make your own kind
in
of
my opinion, some of
content.
those templates are hard to use too, because they're not exactly what you need.
Yeah,
Like, even though it's a template, and then when you have to realign everything
Yeah.
to make it all centered now because you added something extra, it's like very monotonous. I don't love that. But it does make it easier than starting from scratch.
right.
I will
Because
say
you have
that.
to build that off a blank page.
Yeah, and so that's another tool that we use, like Canva.
hmm
I use Canva every single day.
It's just the industry is always growing. It's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, yeah.
How we can reach people is kind of up to us, and using the new tools that we have.
Yeah,
Because some people aren't even on social media. Like they have Facebook and that's it.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that's tough to reach people that way, unless your circle essentially is going to get smaller if you're not on that social media, because it can only grow when you're on social media, I think,
Yeah,
because people are seeing you that you would never ever see.
yeah. I love seeing my grandma on Facebook, man. Like, because like that's the only form of social media she has. She ended up getting on there because, you know, we all post pictures of our kids, and she's like, I'm so sick of not getting these pictures of your kids.
Yeah.
Not just me, my aunts, all of us.
Right.
So, like, but I think it's so cool that she can keep in contact with these people that she's worked with throughout the years. And,
Yeah.
you know, back in the days, like, okay, nice knowing you when you left the job.
Yeah, see you later. I'll write to you. If you're in town, look me up.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's like, oh, Jimmy from 1982.
You're like, oh, we had another grandkid. That's so great. Like, you know, their
And they
little
can be like,
milestones.
congratulations. Like,
Yeah. They say happy birthday to each other and stuff like that.
yeah. But I mean, the main thing is, like we said, in this downtime, staying in front of people
Yeah.
and using these tools, and like, you know, beat it to death, but just like having that clear constant of your information, the things we're doing, our activities, show
Yeah.
people that when the market does turn, we're here, we've been doing it. And the people that try to jump into it be like, oh, look at that, they're doing all the videos we already did.
Yeah, yeah.
They're starting podcasts
And I
that we
think,
already
like,
have.
One important thing that you really said is like using these tools. Like, when you look at it like a tool,
Yeah.
kind of changes your perspective and, you know, how you're using it. And makes it a little bit easier, maybe, even when you look at it that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so scary. It's just another tool.
Yep. But just stay relevant.
Yep.
And then again, on all our social medias, Instagram right here, but it'll be connected to all our other stuff. But just ask us questions if you have questions. If you're thinking of buying now, in the future, you know, this is the best time to get educated, because the market is a little slower. So there's a lot of people that have more time to, you know, give you that attention.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I am only on Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow me there.
But
At
you
Real
can
Estate Ash.
like and subscribe.
On YouTube,
On YouTube.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
Real Grown Talk.
Yes.
And go Phillies.
Yeah, go Phillies.
All right. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.